Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. It is White Weiss Wednesday, which means time for my Survivor recap. So to recap, on tonight's episode, they're dealing with the whole Natalie vote off from last week. They're kind of happy that Natalie's gone. Lyrsa here is happy to survive another day and is also happy Natalie's gone. And she also doesn't trust Angelina after the whole jacket situation last week, and Nick is worried that Angelina is a potential threat moving forward, and he's also doesn't trust her. So I'm like legit scared for Angelina tonight. On the Green Tribe, Christian tries his luck at spearfishing. I have to give him credit for trying, but he was not good at it. So the reward challenge, I thought it was a bit early this episode. Not sure, but anyway, that's what I thought. They had one person was attached to this bag of coconuts, and they had to lift the bag so the person could get over an obstacle, and then they had to get rings, and then they had to land the rings on a target. Because the Green Tribe and Orange Tribe had extra members, they had to sit people out, and Allison and Kara were the sit-outs. The reward was actually super yummy. Like, oh my god. It was these veggie kebabs, and they were, like, so brightly colored and looked amazingly good. I mean, that's got to look good 17 days in. And it ended up being the Green Tribe who won a ton of veggie kebabs, won first reward, and Purple came in second, so they won just one, two veggie kebabs. So, yeah, back at Green, they're obviously enjoying their reward, and Dan thinks his game's going pretty good right now, and I agree with him. I mean, he's got 2 idols in his pocket. He's part of the Brochacho Alliance, and besides the fact, as he mentioned, he doesn't have Kara. I mean, he has a majority alliance right now if Green were to go to tribal council. Christian, honestly, this episode kind of kind of pulled at my heartstrings a bit between Christian and Gabby, because they were both talking about, with them being underdogs, like nobody ever wants to talk to them, and they're often alone, not included in things. And being an underdog myself, I could so totally relate to that. And you know, it feels nice that people accept you for who you are and they include you in things. I mean, that means the world to somebody. So the fact that Dan and John brought Christian to their alliance, I mean, that meant the world to him. I mean, you could see the look on his face. And Gabby, in her aspect, she's also feels the same as Christian, but she reaches out to Allison, and Allison's there for Gabby and is able to be a shoulder for her to cry on and a potential alliance member in the game. And Allison saw that Gabby was emotional and she wanted to do what she can to help her. And for the moment, I definitely think that Allison was genuine with that. On the Orange Tribe, there's some tension. Elizabeth, apparently before the game, had some back issues, and with sleeping on bamboo, I mean, that could aggravate anybody's back condition. So she wants to fix the bamboo in the shelter to make it more comfortable for her back, but Davy doesn't want that to happen because they only have a few hours of light left, and at this point, people are trying to get sleep, so it was just inconvenient. So Elizabeth's trying to explain to them her back problems, but also Davy and even Carl are a bit annoyed by Elizabeth, and Kara's just basically sitting back eating popcorn because originally she thought she might be on the bottom, but watching them, the target's off her back. And I definitely see where Elizabeth's coming from. I mean, if she had that bad of a back problem, and sleep on bamboo for over 2 weeks out there on the island, that's gonna be so uncomfortable. But then I also agree with Davy that if she really did want to make the shelter more comfortable for her back, she would have done it earlier in the day. And Carl is getting sick of Elizabeth, so if Orange were to go to Tribal this episode, he does want to get rid of Elizabeth. And I definitely think Davy would be on board, and Kara would, obviously the vote wouldn't be on her, so she'd probably go with them. So the immunity challenge, they had to, let me read my notes here. They had to get a large saucer with water to a tower. Like, the tower would drop with water, and then they had to carry the saucer back for these obstacles, and they had to drop the water in a well to release puzzle pieces. And it was super hard. Like, one wrong move, that water was going everywhere, and it was definitely a blowout. The Green Tribe did fantastic. Christian is always good with the puzzles. They won first immunity, and Orange won second immunity. Purple, it was a complete blowout. They did terrible in that challenge. Oh, and Elizabeth and Gabby were both the sit-outs. So, with Purple going to Tribal Council, obviously there's a big target on Angelina for what I mentioned before about the whole jacket situation. But then I thought it might also be on Mike, because Mike at one point just started to give up, and he just kind of stopped at one point. So I thought they might put the target on Mike's back. But Lyrsa wants to stick with Nick, and Angelina was open to working with Lyrsa, but Lyrsa wasn't open to working with Angela after last week, and she wants her gone because she thinks that she's a major threat, a strategic threat going forward. I definitely could see that. Angelina is definitely playing the game and thinking strategically. And Angelina is trying to work Nick, and in the same time, Lyrsa is trying to make sure that Mike will also vote off Angelina, because they have 2 Goliaths, 2 Davids, so they have the potential to go to a tiebreaker and go to rocks. Because if 2 vote for Angelina, 2 vote for Lyrsa, they go to a tie again. It's a tie vote. Angelina and Lyrsa don't vote. They can only vote for Angelina or Lyrsa. So then you have, let's just say for conversation's sake, Nick votes for Angelina and Mike votes for Lyrsa. So then they automatically become immune, and then Nick and Mike have to draw rocks. So that would make it very interesting. And Nick then checks in with Mike to see where they're at, and Mike sees what Lyrsa's saying, that Angelina is a threat, but at the same time, if he were to get rid of Angelina, he'd be putting he'd be basically screwing the rest of the Goliaths game, the rest of the time they're on the island, and in return, they won't trust Mike, so that he's also screwing his own game. So at Tribal, it basically talked about how this is a very crucial vote, how there's a potential merge coming, and going forward, people want to go with who is loyal and who they can trust. But as Angelina put it, also what is exactly the strategic move? Who can they trust? Who trust them, and who they trust in return? Who's remained loyal to them up until this time, and who exactly do they think they can work with and to get them to the end? And they were talking about how there's a plan, like each one of those players has different plans to what. We don't know all that yet. But I was legit scared, because I'm an Angelina fan, so I honestly thought either she was going to be voted off or they were going to go to rocks. Turns out Lyrsa ended up getting sent home. And I honestly thought Angelina was going, because, well, no, I also thought it might be a tie, because they showed Lyrsa voting for Angelina and vice versa. They showed Angelina voting for Lyrsa. So, yeah, I definitely thought they might go the tiebreakers if not Angelina went home. So I'm so glad Angelina's safe. And next week's episode shows that the merge is here. So congrats to everybody for making the merge. It shows that Alec potentially wants to work with Christian, and that they wouldn't see it coming that Alec wants to work with Christian, but at the same time, Angelina wants to get out Christian because he's basically the heart and soul of the David tribe. Basically, took over Pat's role as the heart and soul of the tribe. So yeah, it's definitely exciting when the merge comes because now it's basically every man for himself. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed Survivor tonight. If you guys want to check out Survivor, it is on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. on CBS. Till next time, stay regal.